Looks like you are shit out of luck, beautiful.
Out of here! Give me one big push! We're out of here. Give Junior something to drink. Why are you trying to kill this woman?
The gun will only fire when it recognizes the thumbprint of the owner.
The film kicks off with Smith, a weathered traveler with a fondness for carrots, sitting in contemplation of his desolate life. He carries the weight of losing his wife and children, seeking solace in isolation. However, fate disrupts his solitude when a pregnant woman rushes by in evident distress. A speeding car soon threatens her safety, revealing that someone is pursuing her. As the situation escalates with the man in the car brandishing a weapon, Smith decides to intervene. Inside the building, the woman finds herself defenseless as her gun runs out of ammunition. Just as the assailant prepares to attack, Smith springs into action, defeating him with a surprising weapon, a carrot. Their brief moment of respite was abruptly interrupted as a group of armed men descended upon them. Smith swiftly armed himself, knowing that a confrontation was inevitable. After defeating their attackers, Smith found himself unexpectedly assisting the woman in giving birth to her child. However, in the midst of labor pains, a fresh wave of assailants breached their sanctuary once more. With the newborn in his care, Smith was compelled to confront the attackers head-on. Smith urged them to seek cover while he faced their relentless nemesis, Hertz. Despite his efforts, Smith successfully captured Hertz, only to discover that the weapon's owner's fingerprints had secured it. Trapped, Smith made a daring escape with the mother and baby, evading bullets as they fled. But upon reaching the stairs, Smith discovered that the woman had succumbed to her gunshot wound. Determined to safeguard the life he had preserved, Smith fled once more with the infant. However, their pursuers remained relentless in their chase. On the rooftop, Smith engaged in a fierce battle, eventually overpowering a criminal and seizing his weapon and ammunition. After a strenuous struggle, Smith emerged victorious by leaping onto an adjacent building. Meanwhile, Hertz, confronted with the fallen bodies of his men, including the recent mother, seethed at the interference caused by Smith's unexpected heroism. The next day, while strolling with the baby, Smith noticed a well-dressed man observing them. Sensing danger, Smith quickly sought refuge in a restroom. The man in the suit soon reached the restroom door, demanding the baby. Smith vehemently refused, sparking a fierce brawl. Amidst the chaos, shots rang out. Ultimately, Smith prevailed, sparing the man's life and fleeing with the baby. As Smith attempted to find safety, Hertz received information about Smith's location and the baby, prompting him to change course in pursuit. Meanwhile, Smith found himself in a park, contemplating leaving the baby there in the hopes of someone kind-hearted adopting and caring for it. However, as a woman approached, she was abruptly shot from a distance, revealing Hertz's intent to kill the baby. Reacting swiftly, Smith fired shots to disrupt Hertz's aim, providing an opportunity to rescue the baby and escape to a brothel for refuge. Wanting to ensure the baby's care, Smith sought out Donna, a nurturing woman at the brothel, offering her a significant sum of $5,000. However, Donna declined the offer. Meanwhile, Hertz, suspecting Smith of relocating the child, brooded over the mother's tragic fate. Recognizing the baby's need for milk, he ordered his men to search the town for nursing prostitutes. Eventually, Hertz found Donna and pressured her for information on Smith's whereabouts. Donna truthfully recounted how Smith had arrived with the baby, but claimed ignorance of his current location. Doubting her words, Hertz resorted to extreme measures, torturing her for information. Just as Hertz reached a breaking point in his brutality, Smith unexpectedly arrived. Despite facing each other at gunpoint, Smith discerned that Hertz's gun was empty. Swiftly disarming him, Smith revealed that he had single-handedly defeated all of Hertz's men. Realizing his vulnerability, Hertz attempted to use the fingerprints from his fallen comrades' guns, but Smith had a surprise in store, a severed arm from one of Hertz's henchmen, enabling him to open fire and defeat Hertz. With Hertz defeated, Smith invited Donna to escape with him, commandeering a car from a nearby resident. Unbeknownst to them, Hertz had survived thanks to his bulletproof vest. At a gun store stop for ammunition, Smith realized he only had $50 hidden beneath newspaper clippings, misleading Donna about his financial situation. Realizing this, Donna decided to leave. When Smith turned around, Donna had disappeared. Spotting Donna serving a man in an alley, Smith confronted the man, driving him away in frustration. Using Donna's earnings, they purchased a bulletproof vest and ammunition for the baby. Observing their escape, Hertz ordered his remaining men to pursue them in an alley, accompanied by a sniffer dog. Choosing to spare the innocent animal, Smith devised a clever ruse using the baby's diapers to deceive the dog, diverting the pursuers. Smith then decided to bring Oliver to the nearest heavy metal music club. Outside the club, they discovered boxes of baby supplies, strengthening their suspicion that Oliver's mother had ties to the venue. Upon entering the club, they coerced the landlord into revealing a rented room on the upper floor, claimed by someone else. Inside the room, they found lifeless bodies scattered about. Driven by curiosity, they continued to explore and stumbled upon a man in a suit engaged in a phone call, boasting about his involvement in the deaths of pregnant women and their babies. Smith's realization struck him when he recognized the man from the earlier restroom incident who had attempted to snatch Oliver. After the man left, Smith and Donna ventured into a laboratory, where they found a refrigerator filled with sperm donor samples, all from the same individual. This discovery led Smith to suspect that the women were impregnated with this donor's sperm to give birth to babies with matching bone marrow. However, there were others who also sought to prevent the man from obtaining the baby's bone marrow, explaining why Hertz's group was determined to eliminate Oliver. Leaving the laboratory, Smith urged Donna and Oliver to seek refuge for the night in a hotel. However, they were attacked by a group of masked assailants. Fortunately, Smith managed to defeat these attackers. Among them, Smith found a weapon branded with the name Hammerson, which shouldn't have been on the market for another 6 months. This led Smith to suspect a connection between the owner of the Hammerson company and the syndicate involved in baby bone marrow extraction. Determined to protect Donna and Oliver, Smith guided them to a war museum and instructed them to hide within the protective confines of an M24 tank, which could shield them from bullets and explosions. Alone amidst the chaos, Smith proceeded to the Hammerson arms factory. Inside the factory, Smith witnessed Hertz conversing with Hammerson, the owner, who had a dog. Hertz explained how their mission to eliminate Oliver had been disrupted by Smith's unexpected intervention. According to Hertz, Smith was rumored to be a former military weapons expert. Hammerson, upon hearing this, instructed Hertz to swiftly locate Smith and the baby before the upcoming presidential election, as the candidate intended to revoke citizens' gun ownership rights and shut down weapons companies. Meanwhile, Smith strategically prepared a cache of weapons in various locations, anticipating the challenges ahead. However, unbeknownst to him, Hertz was keenly aware of his presence. Showering them with bullets, Hertz revealed that he knew Smith's true identity and the tragic incident that claimed the lives of his wife and child during a restaurant shootout. Overwhelmed by emotions, Smith launched a fierce counterattack. Defeated once again, hurt and seething with anger, Smith vowed to exact revenge. He regrouped and returned to Donna, explaining that it was Hammerson who sought Oliver's demise. Determined to expose the truth, Smith contacted Senator Rutledge's office, pretending to be the man with the baby, and arranged to deliver Oliver to the senator. Unbeknownst to Smith, the person who agreed to meet him was the same man who had attempted to seize Oliver in the restroom. They arranged to meet at the airport, where Smith was invited to board a plane to rendezvous with the senator. During their conversation on the plane, Senator Rutledge disclosed that he was battling cancer, finally revealing his need for Oliver's bone marrow. In the midst of their discussion, Smith noticed that Senator Rutledge's pants were covered in the same dog hair as Hammerson's canine companion. This realization led Smith to understand that Senator Rutledge and Hammerson had struck a deal. Reacting swiftly, Smith took Senator Rutledge hostage. Soon enough, Hertz and Hammerson appeared, confirming Hertz's involvement in the scheme. Hertz revealed that Senator Rutledge had promised them a deal if they captured Oliver. Once elected president, gun ownership rights would remain intact, and Hammerson's company would be spared from closure. Seizing control of the situation, Smith ordered everyone to stand down and led Senator Rutledge to the cargo hold. With resolve, Smith brought an end to Senator Rutledge's life and parachuted from the plane. However, a group of attackers followed suit, initiating an aerial battle. Despite the prolonged struggle, Smith emerged triumphant, defeating all assailants, including the senator's aide. Weary and injured, Smith sought refuge in a building, but his injuries overwhelmed him, causing him to faint. Upon regaining consciousness, he found himself face to face with Hertz, who aimed a gun at him. Smith was then taken to the basement of Hammerson's house, where Hertz demanded information about Donna and Oliver's whereabouts. Despite the pain, Smith remained silent, prompting Hertz to resort to breaking Smith's finger. Meanwhile, Donna had boarded a tour bus, intending to leave town. As Hertz prepared to stab Smith in the eye, Smith unexpectedly fought back in a fierce battle. Smith killed Hammerson and his men, determined to end Hertz's life as well. Both men, wounded yet standing, pointed their guns at each other. However, with great difficulty, Smith pulled the trigger first, ending Hertz's life. After some time had passed, Smith and Hammerson's dog boarded a tour bus, searching for Donna and Oliver. Their journey took them to an ice cream shop, where Donna was working as a waitress, vigilantly watching Oliver. Suddenly, 3 armed robbers stormed into the shop. Feeling a surge of irritation, Smith stepped forward. Seizing the gun from one of the robbers, he used a carrot as his weapon to teach the robbers a lesson they wouldn't soon forget. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.